Hello all loonies and normals, my name is Joe Silver, welcome to my channel. This week what we're going to be talking about is modding in video games. Has modding become the newest version of cheats, or do they actually improve the quality of life within a video game? Do they help the video game? So let me give you an example, right? Let me start by explaining what I mean. What I mean is, remember when you used to play Sonic and when you used to play Mario or whatever, various games, and the game got a bit hard or you didn't, or whatever. You used to type something into your controller, for example, up, down, left, right, A, B, start, and it would give you a cheat. That would be a cheat that was within the game, and you used to use it. Or, for example, like I said, in games like The Sims, I think we all know that you used to put in the money cheat so that your Sims could be as rich as anything. Now, these were cheats, and everybody knew they were cheats because they were called cheats. And my question is, with the modern video games, has modding become the new cheating? Not all mods, by the way, I hasten to add, not all mods, but just some of them. Has modding become the new cheating? Because, I'll tell you for why. Because I've just finished XCOM 2. And yes, there's going to be some spoilers ahead, but I promise not to spoil the ending itself. So, let me explain. I've just finished XCOM 2. That means, 3 times actually, I beat it. Okay? Now, the first time I played it, I was struggling with something, particular part of it, and I was like, I'm not sure if I can do this. So I went to the workshop on Steam, and I looked at all the mods, and I looked for one to do with this particular aspect of the game, the Avatar Project. Now, what that is, like I said, I'll let you find out by playing. But needless to say, it involves the progress toward it being part of the game, and as you get closer and closer to the end, if it reaches the end, game over. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this quick enough. I don't know what I'm doing now. I've never played this game before. So I went in and I got a mod to delay the Avatar Project. So it took longer to complete so that I could play the game. And I beat the game that way. And I thought about it and I thought, well, yes, I've beaten the game, but it doesn't feel right. So I went through it again and I says, I'll try again and I'll see again with this mod still in, and then one time without. So I went through again, and again, like I said, I beat it, but each time it went past where it would normally have gone, and I'm like, if I didn't have this mod, I'd have lost. So this mod felt a bit cheaty to me. So I went, no, I don't like this. It feels like a cheat. So I switched it off. And then I beat the game legit because, yes, I had other mods that did other things, but that particular mod, it switched it off. And and this time I beat the game without it in a legit manner, or at least in my opinion. But it brought up into my mind, can mods actually be cheats? For example, you can get mods to do all sorts in XCOM. You can get mods to give you more resources. You can get mods where you can actually disable the Avatar Project altogether. You can get mods to do pretty much whatever you need them to do. And this is why this issue today. Are mods becoming the modern way of cheating? Do some of these mods, as again I say not all, because some of them purely are quality of life, or some of the mods, for example in XCOM, are voice packs, or voice packs aren't a cheat, they're just to put somebody else into the game, a different voice into the game other than the ones provided, because the ones provided can be a bit generic. So if you put new ones in, it gives them a bit more character. But some of the mods you look at and you think, is this really quality of life, or is this cheating? Outright cheating. So that's why this question today, because the thing is, right, at the end of the day, some mods actually label themselves as cheats, so those ones are, but some don't. My question is, are they, just because they don't label it as such, are they really? Is that what this amounts to? Now my opinion is, if you can justify the mod within the story of the game you're playing, within the time frame of the game, then no. For example, I have a mod that gives me more resources, but what you have to realise is XCOM 2 is set 20 years after XCOM 1, and my justification for the more resources mod that I have is, in 20 years they've saved up resources while looking for the commander, looking for you. Again, this is not so much spoiler as exposition that you'll get at the beginning anyway, so I'm not spoiling the ending. But while looking for you and spending 20 years doing so, they've saved up resources, and then once they find you, they give you some of those resources a bit at a time to help you to do what needs to be done. Because without that mod, you start with nothing, and it's like, you've been looking for him for 20 years, why were you not saving up resources in the meantime? Because you knew he was coming back. So I can justify it, therefore it's not a cheat. But some might look at that mod and say, of course it's a cheat. The idea is you're supposed to start with nothing and you're supposed to work your way up. But, you see, this is the point. And this is the question. What is your opinion? Because, like I said, I can justify that mod. In my mind, I can put it into the story so that it doesn't break immersion, which is what I was talking about last week, and so that it becomes part of it. But delaying the Avatar project, the mod that I got for that, where depending on what difficulty you pick depends how long the Avatar project takes, I couldn't justify it because I was playing on easy, so that meant I got the most amount of time. And I looked at it and I thought, I can't justify that. If they were trying to do what the Avatar project does, which again, no spoilers from me, they would be trying to do it as quickly as possible. There would be no delay, they would not allow for delay. So I couldn't justify it, so I turned it off. And as I said, people may not use the old-fashioned style of cheats anymore. They may not put in codes or words that work within the game. Like in Age of Empires 2, there are certain words you type in to get more resources and so on. But mods can still become cheats, really, because think about it. You're still getting something that the developers never intended you to. But yet, on the other hand, some mods really can be quality of life. For example, I've got an evac all and an Overwatch all mod for XCOM now. Those don't help the game in any way, shape or form. They really are just quality of life mods. Instead of having to individually click Overwatch, 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 you just click Overwatch all, or the one I use more often is Overwatch others, to set things up, and it's done. No problem. And then you can put everybody within the blue square, which is where you evac from, and say evac all, and multiple rows from down, up they go. That makes sense. That, again, is not a cheat. That doesn't help the game in any way, shape or form. That just improves the quality of life. So yes, some mods can be quality of life. But it still remains that if you go into it deep enough, you can really sort of see that actually some of the mods could be considered cheats, and that modding could be considered the new way to cheat. Because technically you're not using any of the cheats within the game, if there are any. You're using mods instead. So that's the question, isn't it? How far do you go with mods? What ones do you include? Which ones do you say, well, no? I mean, like I said, there's some that definitely aren't. Some that really are quality of life. For example, I have a mod where armour actually gives armour instead of giving health. Okay, that makes sense. So, so really the question can go either way. But really the question comes down then to which ones do you use? Which ones do you allow yourself to use and which ones don't you? So that's my opinion. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I quite enjoyed the game. I beat it 3 times and I probably will end up going round again. But at least I know that there's one mod I can switch off and keep off because I don't need it. I don't need to have that pressure unless things get really bad. But if they get really bad, I mean, don't get me wrong, XCOM 2 was made to be brutal. It was made to be punishing. I'm convinced of that because some of the were things you can look at and you go, there's no way that they intended that to be easy. No way, that's such a con. But it's such a fun game and I really enjoyed it. And like I said, and if you haven't played it, I highly suggest that you do. But there's certainly 1 or 2 things. I mean, one of the mods I've got is definitely not a cheat. It actually fixes the balance of some of the bad guys in the game. Because some of the bad guys, we get no spoilers, but as part of the Alien Hunters DLC there are certain bad guys, and these certain bad guys are definitely OP. And I got a mod to fix that, so that can not cheat quality of life. It makes it more realistic. It makes it more how they should have made it in the first place. So it fixes errors within the game, in a way. But anyway, I don't know how long I've been talking actually, but tell you what, that's all I have to say on that. Is that yes, some can be a cheat if depending how they work and depending on your viewpoint, but others can definitely be quality of life, and it's a fine line between the two, to be quite honest. That's my opinion. But what's yours? Let me know in the comments down below if you have an opinion. Let me know what you think. And if you like what you've seen here, leave me a like, leave me a sub. If you have any ideas for what I should talk about next week, please let me know. I'm always happy to hear suggestions because I always struggle to think about what to talk about. So, anyway, I have been Joe Silver. This has been a vlog.